Our first priority in the way that we design and build and maintain our city is the pedestrian. And then it's the bike. And then it's transportation, public transportation. And then it's the private car.
When city staff appear to ignore this policy and put pedestrians and cyclists at risk in order to approve an out-of-scale development in the heart of one of Vancouver's oldest neighborhoods, the community is forced into action. Here is what the city staff presented to council.
10th Avenue, again, part of the complexity here is that it is a bikeway, yet it must take a fair bit of the access given the other three arterials that bound the site. And then finally Watson, as specifically mentioned in the plan itself, very locally serving, very important. A lot of design effort required to essentially tame Watson Street, given that all the access for the project must come off Watson.
For Watson Street, for that section from Broadway to 10th Avenue, it would serve double duty. It would be the lane for the properties that front onto Main Street and the lane for the Rise Alliance sites that front onto Kingsway and Broadway. However, it would also need to do double duty because there's a goal around providing a pedestrian interest on Watson Street. So the lane actually operates on many different levels, and that would also be the goal for the Rise property. It would have its vehicular access in addition to having storefronts as they hug the quarters and come down onto Watson Street, and the expanded open for the vehicular access in the loading bay.
There were three questions that I wanted to address in terms of what the impact was on 10th Avenue, and in particular the fact that it's a bike route today, the impact on Watson Street, and then also from a transportation perspective, what's different or unique or special about this specific location. In terms of 10th Avenue, it is a bike route and certainly deserves our attention. So as a part of this project, one of the changes we're looking at for 10th Avenue is to make it a one-way street, which would reduce the number of vehicles roughly in half. And then even with the increase in traffic from this project, which is about 30 to 50 vehicles an hour, because it's a bike route and we have concerns about that, the project is funding improvements for that section of 10th Avenue, and we're looking at separation because there would be truck access into the project from 10th Avenue onto Watson. So we're looking at reducing the number of vehicles on 10th Avenue from what it is today, and also the project funding improvements to the bike section and likely separation for that section of the bike route. In terms of Watson Street, it is an increase in traffic on Watson Street. Currently it's around 50 vehicles per hour, and it's increasing up to about 134 vehicles per hour. So roughly it's going up to about half of what 10th Avenue is today. However, it is really the only access, the best access and the only access into the site. And as is our practice with large development sites around the city, we don't look at taking access off the arterial roads. Those are busy sidewalks, lots of pedestrians walking. We don't look at putting driveway access across those busy arterial sidewalks. So our first choice would be lane access off a lane. In this case, there isn't the lane access. Watson Street is the most appropriate location, and really the only location for that access. And even with the added traffic, we feel that at that 130 vehicles an hour, that's still a relatively low number comparatively speaking. For example, the arterials there are between 2,500 and 4,500 vehicles an hour, so we would certainly look at Watson as opposed to one of those arterial streets. And finally, a question about what's different or unique about this location from a transit or a transportation perspective. Clearly, it's the abundance of transit at this location. There's an extremely large amount of transit capacity that's available there. Three of our busiest north-south bus routes there. This is today. Three of our busiest north-south bus routes there today. East-west, perhaps the busiest bus corridor in North America in terms of Broadway, with the 99 and the number 9. It's a transit-rich location where residents don't need a schedule because they simply walk out and there's a bus coming regularly. They just jump on the next bus for easy connection to SkyTrain.
But judge for yourself. Here is the city staff plan for the route of up to an additional 161 trucks and cars per hour to be generated by this proposed development alone on the 10th Avenue Bikeway and Watson Street.
Our first priority in the way that we design and build and maintain our city is the pedestrian. And then it's the bike. And then it's transportation, public transportation. And then it's the private car.